What's up, everyone? All right, well, today is my second consecutive red day. I finished the day on Friday in the red, and right now I'm down over $12,000 on the day. In fact, today I traded in all four of my active accounts. I traded in E-Trade, Ameritrade, my IRA, and my main account, and I lost money in all of them. Now, the biggest single loss was $5,200 in my main account, and the others were all smaller, but they all total up to a combined $12,000 in the red, which is, a terrible way to start the week. Coming off of such an awesome hot streak last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Things cooled off a little bit Friday with a red day, but not a really bad one. And then today, I jumped into Bimmy, B-I-M-I. It was the top of the gap scanner. It was the stock that I was watching the most closely. And I traded the same setup in all four accounts. So it was basically like one trade that I lost on times four. And I really felt pretty confident in it, which is why I took it in all four of my accounts. But I was wrong. So we'll break down that trade, and I'll also talk a little bit about my kind of early feelings on TD Ameritrade and E-Trade, both of which I'm now going to be using, and I struggled with both of them quite a bit today. So I'll talk about some of the things that I think will help improve that moving forward, and try to brush off today and be back in the saddle tomorrow. All right, so now let's get into the detailed breakdown of today's trades. All right, so let's start with how I have my screen laid out when I'm trying to trade in four accounts at once. So this is I haven't really seen anyone else try to do this. This is some kind of crazy stuff, but maybe this is why I'm down $12,000 on the morning. So in any case, I have my regular Lightspeed account top left right here. So this is Lightspeed, and I can switch between my retirement account and my main account just like that. So I'm down $5,000 in the main account, and I'm down $2,800 in the retirement. Neither is a blowout loss, but disappointing on both sides. My E-Trade account I have up here in the top corner. Note that I only, as of right now, this very moment, $25,428 of total account value. Now, I traded in this account on Friday and made some money, and now today I've given back what I made plus a little bit, but I am over the PDT level, thank goodness. Unfortunately, my Ameritrade account, bottom corner here, is down $2,100, which puts me below the PDT level by about that much. I only had about $25,096. So I'm gonna have to send more money into that account in order to trade with it, I guess tomorrow, which is disappointing. So that's how I have these accounts laid out. And then what I do right here is I keep this chart over these bottom two level 2 windows when I'm not actively using them. So like if only one stock is really in play, like today Bimmy, then I'll just go ahead and close these two windows. I'll just close them like this. I won't save the layout when I close the platform, but I'll just close them for now. And then I've got my charts and these three platforms ready to go. All right, so Bimmy was the one today that got me good. And again, not that I had a big blowout loss, but I was leveraging myself by trading the same stock in four accounts at the same time. So that means I either would have had 4 times the win or 4 times the loss. And it went the wrong way today, which may be kind of reflecting the difficulty of trading in 4 accounts at the same time. So Bimmy gapping up 28% this morning on the watch list, 3.7 million share float with news. So I was watching it this morning as it was consolidating in this area right here. And initially I was like, this looks very interesting. I like it. But at the same time, I'm not sure because it had such a big move last week. Maybe it's going to be overdone. So the bell rings and it sells off for the first 5 minutes. So I was like, you know what? That's probably for the best. I'm just going to go full screen this here for a second. So my very first trade on this was kind of interesting. My very first trade was actually back here on the 1 minute chart. I jumped in for this 1 minute breakout right here. And in my TD account, my Ameritrade account, Thinkorswim, I bought 3,000 shares and I sold for a $396 winner. And I was like, yes, good job. And then I thought it was going to continue. And so I added at 745, thinking if it broke over 750, it would rip higher. And that was a huge mistake, as it turns out. My very first trade, I'm in this thing at 745 and I stop out at 658. I lose a full dollar, almost a full dollar per share as it drops back down. And part of that was because I was focusing on my E-Trade account, which I was also trying to trade through that breakout. So I was focusing on the E-Trade account. I got out of the E-Trade account with $32 of profit. So I was like, close call. But the main account took the hit. All right, so I took the hit in the main account and it drops down and then it rips back up right here. And when it rips back up, I actually got back in right here at $7.15. Again, this was in the TD account. I got in that one first. And so my process of getting in is I can come over here and I can either use a hotkey, which is shift, and I could just put this at 10 shares. I'll just put it at 10 for right now. So if I press shift 1, I'm going to buy 10 shares. So watch this. So the current price is 7.15 and it's right here. So just like that, I'm in with 10 shares, average price of 7.10. I got it filled between the spread. All right, so just like that, I jumped in, except that my order was set for 1,000 shares. And then I pressed it 3 times, I guess. Or maybe I had it just at 3,000. I can't remember now. But in any case, I was in it. And then as soon as I had some profit, I pressed Control Z. Control Z sells at the bid. So hey, my hotkeys are working, sort of. You know, not picture perfect. My problem that I was having this morning was that under application settings and under display, I had show message for, it was defaulting at 10 seconds. And so what that meant was, what that meant was that once I was in the trade, I was getting this announcement right here, this little alert, but it was filling down the whole column because it was my 3,000 share order was filling in small increments. And so then I couldn't see what the current price was. And I wanted to sell market because I knew as soon as it broke 7.15, it ripped right up to 7.20, 7.30. I wanted to book that profit quickly and I couldn't because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know my average cost. And then those messages cleared and I was able to get out. So I've now learned, and thank you, Mike, for giving me the heads up on this, to go to display and to say show messages for never, don't even show them because I don't care. I can see whether or not I'm in. So applied that setting. All right, so these are some of the bumps that come with learning a new platform. All right, so I got that tuned in. Now this morning on E-Trade, I wasn't using hotkeys because they weren't working. And the reason they weren't working was because even though I had set them up, I hadn't clicked the button, use speed keys. I didn't know I had to. And so I was clicking, shift one to buy, but nothing was happening. And I was like, what is going on? And then this is where I realized use speed keys. So now that's fixed. So this is turned on. So just like that, I think my hotkey right now is actually set for 1,000 shares. So I'm not going to test it, but it's pretty much the same functionality. Shift 1 to buy, Control Z to sell. And you know what? Why not let's just do it. So I'm going to go here into speed key setup. And actually I still have it at 10 shares. So wouldn't that have been disappointing tomorrow morning? All right, so shift 1, I'm in, but it also put an exclamation point there. So now I've got to real quick retype that. Shift 1 again. Okay, so that's a little bit of a problem. Bimmy, can I get my mouse off of that level? So now I'm pressing Control Z, but nothing is happening. Pressing Control Z, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. And now, okay. It worked that time, but it didn't work this time. So I don't know. So something's still a little funky there. Shift 1, I'm in. Control Z is not working. But when I click on the ask, it worked last time. Click on the bid. No. So I'm pressing Control Z, but it is not consistently working. Now, if I have this highlighted, it works. But the problem there is that it's also typing an exclamation point. I guess that's okay as long as I don't press enter. So I'm losing a couple dollars here, but it's good to test this stuff out. So this is a little, that's not a preferred functionality in my opinion, but I'm not gonna get into it. So anyway, so I'll have that set up and working for tomorrow. I guess a little bit better if it's consistent, we'll see. Bimmy, so anyways, so how did I go from being green on these two to being red? I was already red in this main account. Well, I got back in here also in my main account, and through this move, I made back the full 3,000 that I lost. So I went from down 3 grand to up $200, and I was like, sweet. It then squeezes up here to a high of 797, and on this 1 minute pullback, I added in all 4 accounts. I was like, this thing is gonna break $8. And so boom, I'm in with 3,000 shares here. I'm in with 3,000 shares here. I'm in with 6,000 in my main account, and I flip over to my retirement account and I buy another 3,000 over there. So now I'm in on all 3 accounts. And this was right on this first 1 minute candle to make a new high. Okay, so at this time, this is what our chart looked like. All right, so then as you can see, it drops all the way down to 725 and pops back up. Sideways, sideways, it comes up and taps it once right here, kind of right here, kind of right here. And I'm still holding through all of this because now I'm in it with all 4 accounts. And I'm like, I don't want to start selling. I really think this is going to work. So then we get the first 5 minute candle to make a new high, but only by a couple cents. It then drops down, and right there, I had to bail out and I took the loss. You know what's really annoying is that this ended up coming all the way back up to $8 right there. But it didn't hold well, and it dropped from 820 all the way back down to 720 within 2 minutes. So this kind of slow grind back up, and I did get back in for this grind back up. I got in right here at 770 in both my E-Trade and my Ameritrade account, but not in my main accounts. And so right there through that breakout, I made some money, but then my hotkey to sell E-Trade didn't work because I didn't have the speed key thing clicked. So the way I had gotten into it was by pressing the buy button, and then I was planning on just pressing Control Z to get out. That didn't work, and then when it dropped here all the way to the low, I was still holding 1,000 shares, and I was pissed because that should have been a winner, and so it ended up only being a small winner. So today was a mess for me. I mean, it was just went red, then back to sort of green, and then just red on all 4. So not happy about that, but the reason that I'm trading in Ameritrade and E-Trade is because I want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt whether or not I'm losing money by continuing to pay commissions at Lightspeed. I do think that had I been able to focus just on one account today, I wouldn't have been holding this when it dropped right here. I would have been able to get out faster, no doubt about it. And that's going to be the nature of trying to trade in 4 accounts at once. I'm dividing my attention, and that's going to be challenging. But, this has definitely been faster so far in terms of order execution speed. And I mean, I can just do, a couple 10, actually I'm below my max loss, so I can't see what happens if I try to trade here. It's going to say I can't place any orders because I'm below max loss. So I actually can't practice there, but I will have some videos, some live trading videos that I'll show you guys. And, once I want to make sure I get things a little more dialed in before I start doing live trading videos. Cause right now I can tell that I'm still getting comfortable with the software, and maybe I shouldn't have been so aggressive today considering I'm still in the learning curve, but it is what it is. And, my goal by the end of this is to know beyond a shadow of a doubt which broker is best for my strategy, and from a commission standpoint too, because no doubt Lightspeed's best for my strategy, But from a commission standpoint, I've spent over $143,000 in the last 2 years. So was it worth it? And that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. All right, so we will find out, and I'll be back at it tomorrow. A little bit of a setback here today, but I'm not going to be factoring these accounts as part of my annual profits or losses. This is just sort of a separate thing that I'm setting up, and if it basically costs me $5,000 to learn about the commission, then that's just sort of the cost of doing business, and it is what it is. But my two main accounts, the Lightspeed Retirement and the Lightspeed main account, those are the ones that I'm really focused on. Those are the ones that I have my broker statements on the website every month, as always. And so these are the ones that I really, I want to finish the month in good shape with, and I need to now bounce back $8,000 off today's red day. So tomorrow will be day one of digging myself out of the hole, day one of the rebound. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. Hey, did you know that I go live every single morning between 9 and 9:15 to stream my pre-market watch list? Subscribe to the channel, press the bell for the alert, and you'll get the notification.